did you have a life review?
I had a life review that took me through every one of the most painful, wounding, horrible experiences of my life. And I had an absolute understanding of everyone involved.
Yeah.
Me, the other people, not just the emotions, but as Jeremy said, I was the other people involved and I was me. And I had a complete understanding of what brought each of us to that situation.
Yeah. Every time I've heard this, it feels like the truth to me because, I was raised very, very strict religiously. And the word you just said here resonated with me with such that when you die, there's going to be the judgment. And I remember the first time I heard someone talk about this on the show, I thought, oh, the judgment is actually the way you've lived and the feelings that you've created with other people. Everything you've ever done comes back to you. That's the judgment.
Yeah. I mean, the fact is, every single person who has had a profound spiritual experience would say the same thing. And that is that God is love. And the fact is, where God is present, where God's love is present, there is no room for destructive emotions of guilt and remorse and shame and all anger, bitterness, all of those things. What I discovered is that where God is present, there is always some version of love, be it compassion or empathy or
grace,
understanding.
Kindness,
all of that.
All of it. So you received a warning. You received a warning during your near-death experience. What was it?
Well, I did. I had this incredible experience of leaving my body, going to heaven, God's world, spiritual realm. So I was told that it wasn't my time. I had to go back to earth. I had more work to do. And I was given a list of things that I still had to do. And one of the things on this list was had to do with the coming and unexpected death of my oldest son. And he, at the time, was 9 and healthy. And I, of course, asked why, obviously. And when I asked that, I was taken back to my life review, where I'd been shown again and again and again that beauty really does come of all things. Then I was taken back to my body. And
10 years later, your son actually passed away. So this is what I was wondering. Since you've been given that warning that your son is going to die, how do you live in this world of density for 10 years, knowing that your son is going to die early, and that's part of one of your assignments? How do you live not in fear every day? Or is it because you had that loving near-death experience, you know that whenever he passes, it's going to be okay?
There is no way any person could shoulder that burden without having an absolute knowledge, understanding, and trust that God is real and present, that we are really just spiritual beings living in this 3-dimensional body, that there really is life after death, continuation of our consciousness, again, however you want to describe it. Because knowing that without any shred of doubt gave me a confidence that if indeed his death came to pass, great beauty would come of it. He would have been joyfully welcomed home as I had been, and that he wasn't lost to me. The fact is, I know he'll be there waiting for me when my time is done. But until then, I'm here on earth with more left to do, and we're here. It's this great adventure, this great opportunity to learn and grow and reflect God's love to others. And
how did you, now in human form, again, not in that loving, all connected space, come back knowing that your son is going to die and nobody else around you knows that? So now you have to move through the world. And you weren't told when it was going to die, so you don't know if he's going to die next week or next month. And then years pass and he doesn't die, so you're thinking, maybe that I didn't even hear that. Maybe that wasn't even real.
I woke up every day wondering if that would be the day.
Got it. That's what I'm saying.
Again, it's not, your question is, how do you get through that day? Well, you get through that day with this absolute trust that God is real and present in my life, in my son's life, in my family, in the world. If that is part of the plan for his life and our lives, then great beauty would come of it.
Can you explain to us how he died 10 years later? People listening will want to know.
Yeah, he was doing a dry land ski training and was hit by a car. So he was killed instantly.
And so when you got that message that your son is gone, you thought, okay, there it is.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that, I said, oh, hey, that's great. No, I was as devastated as a mother could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I will honestly tell you that even in the midst of my sorrow, I experienced great joy. And that joy is because of knowing, trusting spiritual truth.
Yeah. I always say when you lose a loved one, tell me if you agree with this or not. But since I started hearing these near-death experiences, and also know that I have a whole posse, I have a team on the other side, I feel them all the time looking out for me, that's one of the reasons why I've had a life that I've had, because of all that's come before me. And where are all those people with me right now? And I'm just wondering if you still feel him, you still feel connected to that. Do you feel that sense of awareness?
Yeah, I sure do. I mean, my concept of it is we don't live here and they live here. We live and exist within the spiritual realm. There is no time in the spiritual world. There's no dimension. I don't have the words, but it exists within each other. And everything exists simultaneously, although independently. So yes, I believe we live within the spiritual world, even though our three-dimensional brains can't see it. We don't always acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But the fact is, there is spiritual crossover. Yeah,
you can. The brain doesn't acknowledge it, but I can tell you, I experience it through stillness. I can sit amongst the trees and literally become one with them. I mean, I can, I know that sounds crazy, but I can. So I think that there is a way to do it, but I also feel that the density of the body keeps you from doing it. It's why I always do say, though, when people have loved ones that pass, Dr. Grayson, it's like, now you have an angel you can call by name.
Yeah.
Now you have somebody who's crossed over to the other side. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Neal. Dr. Neal's books are To Heaven and Back and 7 Lessons from Heaven. We could listen to you all day because we love this conversation. We love this conversation.
It's my favorite conversation.
It's my favorite conversation, too.